Hello, my dear students. Welcome back to Shlokas Academy YouTube channel. In the last session, we have discussed up to discovery of electron and properties of cathode rays and properties of anode rays. And in today's session, we are going to discuss discovery of proton, discovery of anode rays or canal rays, what are the properties of anode rays, and what are the properties of proton. Then discovery of neutron, properties of the neutron, and properties of all three fundamental particles together, then properties of the charge. So in this session, we are going to discuss all these topics. So please stay tuned to Shlokas Academy and please copy the notes neatly in your class notes or fair notebook. Now today we are going to discuss about discovery of proton. Discovery of proton, and this was done by Goldstein. The scientist name is what? Goldstein, right? So what he did means just he took the same experimental setup which had taken by the J.J. Thomson for the discovery of electron. Just he made one small alteration. What is that? In the electron discovery, the cathode was normal cathode, but here he has used perforated. Perforated means having many holes. Perforated cathode. You can observe here, it is having many holes here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like that, I am also making some holes. Right? Perforated cathode. And he noticed that the rays are not only generating at cathode and moving towards anode, and rays are also simultaneously they are generating at an anode and they are moving towards a cathode, and they are passing through these holes. So that is why these rays are called as they are generating at anode, these are called as anode rays, and as they are passing through these holes, these are also called as canal rays. Canal rays. And what are the properties of these anode rays or canal rays? So let me discuss what are the properties, right, of anode rays. So like the properties of cathode rays, here we have to discuss properties of anode rays. Here the properties of anode rays are almost same as the properties of cathode rays. Only they differ in. Means what was the first property of cathode rays? Cathode rays are generating at cathode and moving towards anode in straight line path. And they are producing shadow of an object placed in their path. Here also anode rays are generating at anode and moving towards cathode in a straight line path. Right. And only they differ. Almost the properties of cathode rays and anode rays are same. Only they differ in. Where they get difference means the first point where they can show the difference is the first point. Cathode rays were deflecting towards the positive charge of an electric field. Here anode rays are deflecting towards the negative charge of the electric field. That means from this you can say that the anode rays are having positive charge. Because of this positive charge only, in presence of an electric field, they are deflecting towards a negative charge. This is difference. And the second one, very most important, this one is the E/M ratio, means specific charge to mass ratio of cathode rays is same for all gases taken in the discharge tube. Means whatever the gas you have taken in the discharge tube, the E/M ratio, that means charge to mass ratio of an electron, is always same. Means it is not at all depending upon the nature of the gas taken in the discharge tube. But when it comes to the anode rays, the E/M ratio is different for different gases. It is not same for all gases taken in the discharge tube. Means it is depending upon the nature of the gas. It is depending upon the nature of the gas taken in the discharge tube. Nature of the gas taken in the discharge tube. Understood? Means the two differences till now I have discussed. One is Cathode rays, I'm discussing every time I'm comparing with cathode rays, you don't confuse it. Cathode rays were deflecting towards positive charge, right, in presence of an electric field, whereas anode rays are deflecting towards negative charge. Negative charge means this indicates that the anode rays are carrying which charge? Positive charge. And if you take cathode rays, the specific charge of cathode rays is same for all gases. It is independent of the nature of the gas. Means it is same for all gases. Whatever the gas you take in the discharge tube, it is same. And here, the question here, the E by M ratio of anode rays is not same for all gases. It is different for different gases. That means it is depending upon the nature of the gas taken in the discharge tube. These are the two major differences. And here, if I take hydrogen gas, right, what do we get? The positive charge is H plus and the negative charge is electron. Right, and if I take nitrogen, the positive charge is N plus and the negative charge is electron. So cathode rays are having this one, anode rays are having this one, right? So any gas you take, obviously the negatively charged particles are electron. Hence, whether you take hydrogen or nitrogen or oxygen, anything of these three, right? Always they are producing negative particles as electrons only. That is why the E by M ratio of all three gases is same. There is no difference. But when it comes to the anode rays, here what are the positively charged particles? We have got H plus. And in the second case, what is the positive charge we have got? Right, it is N plus. It is H plus, it is N plus. Here O plus. Three are different from each other. Hence, the properties of anode rays also different from each other in these three cases. Do you all understand? Why do the cathode rays possess same E by M ratio for all gases? Whatever the gas you take, because all gases can produce electrons. That is why they possess same specific charge. Whereas when it comes to the protons are different from gas to gas. That is why they differ. So these are the major properties of the proton. Next, major anode rays. Now we will discuss the overall discussion of this discovery of proton or anode rays. In 1886, Goldstein performed the same experiment using perforated cathode and found that rays are not only traveling from cathode to anode but simultaneously also traveling from anode to cathode and passes through holes or canals of cathode, which are termed as canal rays or anode rays. Right, this already we have discussed. Right, once again for notes you follow this slide and copy as it is with the diagram in your notebook. Next, right, so next I will go for properties of the proton. What are the properties of proton? Like E by M ratio, all these things we have to discuss. Properties of proton, right? So the first one, E by M ratio of proton, right? It is like 9.58 into 10 to the power of 7 coulombs per kg, right? So it is equation 1, right? Next, I can take a charge on the proton as 1.602 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulombs. Let it be equation 2. I know the E by M ratio and I know the E. These two are purely experimentally determined fact. And from this, mass of proton can be find as, right, 1.67 into 10 to the power of minus 27 kg. So these are the three important properties of the proton, right? Once again, we will review on the properties. First, cathode characteristics of anode rays, then properties of proton. One by one, we will discuss. Already we had discussion regarding this one. Once again, I want to know the what is that just overall discussion. Now here, let me check with this one. Characteristics of anode rays, right? They have same properties as cathode rays, only different is that. Means, so I'm not discussing all the properties of anode rays. I'm saying that almost the properties of cathode and anode rays are same. If they differ, in which factor they differ? Only those differences I will discuss. Right. The first one is they deflect towards negative plate. Means anode rays deflect towards negative plate. This point is telling that anode rays are carrying positive charge. Right, which indicates that they are positively charged. First point where they can show the difference from the cathode rays. E by M ratio for anode rays is smaller than that of the cathode rays, that is electron. Because as compared to the mass of the electron, mass of the proton is heavier. Next, specific charge, that is E by M of anode rays, depends upon nature of gas taken in the tube, which indicates that positive particle constituting the positive rays is different for different gases. Already we have discussed, and this E by M ratio is maximum for hydrogen because it is the lightest particle, which is called as a proton, right? And the properties of proton: E by M ratio 9.58 into 10 to the power of coulombs per kg, and charge on the proton same as electron only, 1.60 into 10 to the power of minus 19, it is not 10 minus 19 coulombs. And mass of the proton 1.67 into 10 to the power of, it is also minus 27. Here you should note it down as it is 1.602 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulombs. And here mass of proton is 1.67 into 10 to the power of minus 27 kg. Right? Please make these notes very clearly. Next, let us move on to the next. After discovery of proton, we should go for discovery of neutron, another fundamental particle. Discovery of neutron. Discovery of neutron. So what are the, how it was discovered? Actually, it was an accidental discovery because the scientist James Chadwick, right, actually when he was studying or when he was bombarding a thin foil of the beryllium atomic number 4 and its mass number 9, was bombarding with the alpha particle to helium 4, right? So he found that a new chargeless particle was obtained, whose mass is nearly equal to mass of the proton. This is right. Unknowingly, the James Chadwick was discovered this particle, which was called as neutron, right? And this mass is almost equal to the mass of the proton, and it do not carry any charge. As it is electrically neutral, it was named as neutron. So this is about the discovery of neutron. Once again, I will recall on this discovery of neutron. Just please concentrate. In 1932, James Chadwick, when he was bombarding a thin sheet of beryllium with alpha particle means what? 2He4. Alpha particle means 2He4, right? So actually it should have positive charge. And he found that a new particle which is electrically neutral but having slightly greater mass than proton are emitted, and he named them as, what is that? Neutron. This is our neutron. So electron, proton, neutron are the fundamental particles present in all atoms except hydrogen. Why except? It is not R, except hydrogen. So why? Because hydrogen will have only what it have? Electron and proton. Hydrogen will have electron and proton. There is no neutron in the hydrogen. So that is why this is very important note, right? So this is also notes regarding discovery of neutron. Now we have discussed up to proton discovery, electron discovery, and neutron discovery, PEL. Now we need to discuss properties of all these three fundamental particles together. How? It is the name of the particle and charge, right? Here I can write charge and its a mass and its E by M ratio and its who discovered, the scientist name. Everything we can discuss all together here. Properties of fundamental particles. We have fundamental particle discovered by whom, charge present on each particle and mass of the particle and charge to mass ratio, which is called as specific charge or E by M value. One by one we will discuss. Electron. electron can be represented as E minus or beta particle. And who discovered this one? J.J. Thomson. What is the charge present on the electron? A negative charge. And if I ask you what is the value, 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulomb. And if you convert it into CGS system, where in the CGS system the charge can be represented in electrostatic units, ESU, which is equal to minus 4.8 into 10 to the power of minus 10, and which is equal to minus 1 unit. So this is usual representation. Minus 1 is the usual representation. Next, properties, mass of the electron. In different units they have given. In kg, it is 9.1 into 10 to the power of minus 31 kg. In grams, it is 9.1 into 10 to the power of minus 28 grams. In AMU, 0.000548 AMU, very small. And its specific charge is 1.76 into 10 to the power of 8 coulombs per gram they have given. Actually, if you want to write it in coulombs per kg, it should be 1.76 into 10 to the power of 11 coulombs per kg. That's it. Now proton. It is called as ionized hydrogen atom. Means from hydrogen, if I remove one electron, I will get the proton. Right? So who discovered Goldstein? And what is the charge on this one? Charge. The charge on the proton is same as electron, but that was negative and this is positive in electrostatic, and we can write it as +1 unit. And here what is the mass in kilograms they have given, and in AMU 1.00757, and this is in coulombs per gram. If it is in coulombs per kg, 10 to the power of 7 you can take. Neutron. Who discovered neutron? Right, James Chadwick. And there is no charge, that is why it is neutral, and the mass is almost equal to the proton, slightly lighter, heavier than proton, and the E/M ratio is 0. So these are the all fundamental particles together properties, right? So this is up to discovery of fundamental particle, that is electron, proton and neutron, and the properties of all three fundamental particles together in this slide. Please make a notes in a neat way, right? So to make it effectively for your future competitive examination, right? So now we will discuss in the next video what is charge and how many types of charge is there, properties of charge. All these things we can discuss in the next video. Please copy the notes and as well as listen as many times you can, because if you listen more times, you will get the more knowledge. Thank you.